I'm Luyanda Jafta, co-founder of a platform called the People's Fund. Um, they let me pretend to be CEO there because I don't know what CEO of a startup is. We've been doing crowdfunding for the past 18 months. Basically, crowdfunding small businesses that are growing, either they are assets or they are purchase orders, and we've managed to impact in the past 18 months about 4 million in business for through crowdfunding for these businesses.
So, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So, tell us more about crowdfunding. What is it, in essence?
Crowdfunding is just like a stockfell that went to private school, right? Basically, it's just a group of people coming together for an objective. I mean, that has existed since the beginning of time. What we've done now is because of the proliferation of digital platforms where everyone can access the internet and that sort of thing, we've just put it on a platform. I mean, Thud, one of our co-funding companies, was doing crowdfunding on the floor on their events, where the winning pitch would get crowdfunded by the people in the audience who would support their business either in cash or in business services, right? So we said, look, how can we make crowdfunding more sustainable? Not like the Kickstarters and the GoFundMe's where you're funding either a product or it's for charity, right? In South Africa needs sustainable businesses. So we said, look, how can we make crowdfunding that pays back the crowd? And that's basically uh, what it is.
Okay. So, what are the ways to crowdfund? How
Yeah.
do you start a campaign out of that? Yeah.
Sure. So there's multiple platforms in the country for that purpose. It depends. The most important thing is what is your objective, and if it's business, there are few platforms that are for that. Obviously, our platform, the People's Fund. There's Uprise Africa, which you apply on their platform. They're an equity crowdfunding platform. Um, there's SmartVest Capital, where they do livestock crowdfunding. So if you're a farmer, it would be great to talk to them to see if that work can be done. On our platform, it's pretty simple. You apply on our platform. Once you've applied, we review your documents because we actually do a thorough due diligence. We do it like how a venture capital would do or any investor would do in a company, and then we only let the ones we think have a chance of paying back the crowd onto our platform.
Okay. How? Well, tell us more about creating a campaign.
Sure.
Let's do that, yeah.
So the first thing is from a crowdfunding perspective, your campaign is going to live with the people on digital media, on social media. So the first thing is to create a catchy video. This is harder than it sounds. Most entrepreneurs are very quiet people, contrary to belief, right? And they're very nervous behind the camera, so they don't come across as believable. That's the first thing. Second thing is to what's your sell? What are you selling? What's in it for me, right? What are the crowd getting for giving you this money, right? And thirdly, create validation and traction, right? Validate why you're the right person for this or the right company and that sort of thing. And the crowd will back you, in a big way.
Okay. And what tips would you give for marketing your campaign? What have you seen works when you have a campaign running and you need to get the word out there?
Um, the biggest thing is firstly, the trick is have a real business, right? Like have a real product that appeals to people, right? That's the first, and I know it's not a trick. It's like have a real business. And the second thing is keep people updated, right? Like, hey, we've raised X amount at this point. Get your friends and family first, right? Like the immediate circle. We've raised this much thus far. We're going for this much. Thank you to everyone, and keep thanking the crowd. Thank you to everyone who's contributed. We're at this stage. We'd love to get to X stage because this is important for X, Y, Z, and this is what you get back, right? And keep it short and simple. Don't spam people. Number one rule: don't spam people. Yeah, and be participative. Because like on the People's Fund, we do most of the marketing for the campaigns, right? Because it's such a new concept to the South African entrepreneurial landscape. But the campaigns that have done really well are the ones where the entrepreneurs are actually participating in the market. For example, Native Nosi, who just got named, who just won some Rewards Award for food, right?
Mhm.
Which was nice. It's like, it's growing so nicely. She participated a lot and would name the people who contributed and would just thank them on her wall, on her pages and that sort of thing. That participation goes a long way to get the crowd to want to play a part, what I mean? Advertising is repetition.
So, do you think that entrepreneurs are taking advantage enough of this platform? especially in the country, in the current ecosystem or climate?
So it's interesting. One of the things we found is that crowdfunding is great, right? But not most people are ready for it. Most people are looking to crowdfund brand new ideas that they haven't tested. And I think that's a misunderstanding of the market, right? Like, we live in a very skeptical market. I love my country to death, but our country is like, I don't believe that you can execute X, Y, and Z, right? So I think entrepreneurs need to learn to validate customers and then start looking for crowdfunding. And in no way are we using it enough. And it doesn't even have to be a platform like the People's Fund. It could be just sourcing together a group of people who, potential investors, the way most VC deals are done, right? Where there's a lead investor and there's follow-on investors. We don't use that enough. We play alone too much, and the crowd offers you more than just money. You know, they offer you networks as well. You know, there's some deals that have opened up through the people who've contributed on the campaign. So no, we don't use it enough. We don't use the collaborative approach to doing business enough. Period.
Okay. Okay, so where can people find you guys?
Oh, you could find the People's Fund for www.thepeople.co.za. If you have a purchase order, we can fund those. Those we do via crowdfunding and private investors. And then if you want to buy some assets or that sort of thing, you can also apply there. And if you want to contribute and get a return, I mean, we're giving our people around 20% return on capital year on year on the campaigns that have been funded. I mean, of the 4 million, more than $1 million has been paid back to the crowd. So in that 18 months. So yeah, that's how you find us. Thepeople.co.za, TP_fund on Twitter and Instagram, and the People's and TP Fund on Facebook.
Awesome.
And if I was to add something, entrepreneurs, what they need to learn, because we're finding this more common than we should, learn accounting. Get accountant, learn accounting. We don't have a shortage of capital in the country, we have a shortage of accounting understanding. There's no way to scale a business without an understanding of accounting. There's one rule of life I'd give entrepreneurs is learn accounting, understand your books, understand your numbers, and get a good accountant so that you're always tax compliant. Because that's your second business partner, always in any business.